Let me ask you a question. If I told you there's a company that without taking a single dollar from venture capital, without a Silicon Valley office, without a 200 million funding round, quietly build a software portfolio that touches so far 30 million websites around the world, would you believe me? What if I told you this company was founded by a Pakistani immigrant kid who came to America at age 12, couldn't speak English well, was bullied in school, and sold holiday greeting cards as a 7-year-old kid in the streets of Karachi to triple his mom's investment? Yeah, this is that story. Welcome to the channel. Today we talk about Syed Balkhi and AwesomeMotive and how they quietly built the most dominant software empire in the WordPress ecosystem. Every great business story starts somewhere unexpected. For Syed Balkhi, it started in Karachi, Pakistan, in the early 1990s. At age 7, this kid was already running a business. His mom gave him some startup capital and he went out selling holiday greeting cards for Eid. If you don't know what Eid is, that's one of the biggest festivals for Muslims all around the world. He didn't just sell them, he tripled his mom's investment within a month. 7 বছরে বিজনেস করে আর আমরা 35 বছরে চাকরি খুঁজি। Then at age 12, his family moved to the United States. Not the comfortable version of America you might imagine. They moved into economic uncertainty, language barriers, and post 9/11 racial tension as a Muslim immigrant family. He was younger than his classmates. He got bullied. Life wasn't easy. But here's where the story gets interesting. Instead of giving up, this kid, who couldn't yet speak English confidently, went online. He started doing basic work, forum posting, data entry, anything he could find. He was contributing to his family's finances from high school. Then in 2006, at age 16, while he was a student at the University of Florida, enrolled at 16 by the way, he discovered WordPress and something clicked. He didn't just see a blogging platform, he saw a community, an ecosystem, a gap in the market. Because back then, every WordPress tutorial was written by developers for developers. If you were a normal person, a small business owner, a baker, a dentist, trying to make a website, the WordPress world basically told you, you are on your own, bro. Syed saw that gap and thought, what if I filled it? In 2009, from his college apartment, Syed Balkhi launched a blog. He called it WP Beginner. So this is the website of WP Beginner nowadays after a polished version. The concept was devastatingly simple. WordPress tutorials for non-techie people step by step. No jargon, no assumptions. He didn't build a product. He didn't raise money. He built a media asset. Content that people were searching for. Content that Google would rank. Content that would bring hundreds of thousands of visitors to his site every month. And slowly, steadily, it worked. WP Beginner grew into what many people in the industry call the Wikipedia of WordPress. If you have ever Googled how to install a WordPress plugin or how to fix WordPress white screen of death, you have probably landed on WP Beginner. WP Beginner ছাড়া WordPress শিখতেন কেমনে ভাই? Now, here's the marketing lesson hiding in this step, and we will come back to this in depth later. But for now, just notice, he didn't build software first. He built an audience first. This is the move that changes everything, because when you have 500,000 people visiting your website every month and trusting your recommendations, you have something far more powerful than any ad budget can buy. You have distribution. In 2011, he formally incorporated the company. His then girlfriend, now wife, Amanda, suggested the name. Everything you do has an awesome motive behind it, she said. So he called it Awesome. Even to this day, people outside the industry think it's an automotive repair shop. নামটা শুনলে আসলেই গাড়ির গ্যারেজ মনে হয়। কি জানি? Now, here's where the genius really starts. By 2013, WP Beginner had a massive audience. Hundreds of thousands of WordPress users visited every month, and Syed noticed something. His readers were constantly asking, how do I grow my email list? How do I get more conversions on my site? How do I stop people from leaving without doing anything? So he built the solution himself. In 2013, he launched Monster, a conversion optimization tool, pop-up forms, exit intent technology, A/B testing, behavioral targeting, all the stuff that makes visitors go from passive readers to actual email subscribers. And he already had the perfect marketing channel for it, WP Beginner. Think of it for a second. He didn't need Google Ads. He didn't need influencer marketing. He didn't need a cold outreach team. He literally wrote a blog post on WP Beginner that said, here's how to grow your email list. And at the end of every such post, he mentioned Monster, his own product to his own audience for free. The audience that WP Beginner built was basically a free perpetual advertising channel for every product he would ever build or acquire. That is what the marketing world calls vertical integration of distribution. And we will come back to this in detail a bit later. Let's just see how many companies AwesomeMotive has under its umbrella right now. These are all the brands that exist till date. And it's super impressive. Did you just see that? That's one company. At the time I'm recording this, AwesomeMotive manages over 30 different brands across the WordPress and SaaS ecosystem. Collectively, their software is running on over 30 million websites. That's more websites than most countries have people. And here's the kicker. They did all of these bootstrapped. No VC, no private equity, no series A, B, or C. Just Syed Balkhi, a blog, a great product, and a strategy so clear and disciplined that it looks obvious in hindsight and baffling in the real time. So how does the acquisition machine work? Let me walk you through the pattern because it's the same playbook over and over again. Identify a category that AwesomeMotive's existing audience needs: forms, analytics, SEO, backup, email, social proof, push notifications. Either build a product in that category or find the best existing product in that category and acquire it. Bring it into the AwesomeMotive ecosystem where WP Beginner and partner channels can drive traffic to it essentially for free. Improve the product, maintain its identity, and let the team run it simultaneously. And repeat. That's it. That's the machine. AIOSEO. The all-in-one SEO plugin started in 2007. The original WordPress SEO plugin acquired. MonsterInsights, Google Analytics plugin for WordPress, 2 million plus installs, built and grown. Duplicator for backups and migrations, acquired. Sandhills Development, makers of easy digital downloads, Affiliate WP, WP Simple Pay, entire company acquired. Thrive Themes, a full site of conversion and marketing tools, acquired. Smash Below for social media feeds, acquired. SeedProd, acquired. Thrive Themes, acquired. WP Charitable for non-profits, acquired. WP 101 for training, acquired. Buddyboss for communities, acquired. Envira Gallery and NextGen Gallery, acquired. A-Themes, acquired. At one point in 2023, Syed publicly said that they completed 12 acquisitions in a single year. That's one per month. মাসে মাসে আলু পটলের মতো কোম্পানি কিনতেছে। কি একটা অবস্থা। And a formal investment vehicle that invests in WordPress adjacent businesses that need capital and strategic support to scale. Companies like MemberPress, Formidable Forms, Uncanny Automator, FunnelKit, Pretty Links, SearchWP, and more all sit under this umbrella. The reported highest annual revenue so far back in 2023, $46.5 million US dollar. Bootstrap. Okay, now we get into the real stuff because what Syed and AwesomeMotive have done is not just impressive. It's a textbook case of multiple advanced marketing and business strategies executed simultaneously over 15 plus years. Let me name them. Content as a distribution mode. A moat is a competitive advantage that is very hard for competitors to replicate. Warren Buffett made the term famous in business. The idea that the best businesses have wide moats that protect them from competition. WP Beginner is AwesomeMotive's widest, deepest moat. Here's why. WP Beginner publishes tutorials, guides, and recommendations at scale. It ranks on the first page of Google for thousands of WordPress-related search terms. Millions of people visit every month, and when those millions of people need a form plugin, a pop-up tool, or an SEO plugin, WP Beginner recommends one. Guess which one? An AwesomeMotive product. Can a competitor replicate this overnight? No. WP Beginner has been building SEO authority, backlinks, and audience trust since 2009. That's 16 years of compounded content quality that no ad budget can instantly buy. This is what the marketing world calls a content distribution mode, and it is why AwesomeMotive can acquire a new product and immediately give it free, high-quality distribution at a scale that would cost millions in paid advertising. Portfolio brand architecture. Here's something counterintuitive that Syed does. Despite running 30-plus brands, he doesn't consolidate them all under one AwesomeMotive super plugin suite brand. Every product keeps its own brand identity. WPForms is WPForms. All-in-one SEO is all-in-one SEO. Duplicator is Duplicator. Each one has its own logo, website, support team, and community. They don't all suddenly become AwesomeMotive Forms or AwesomeMotive SEO. Why? Because users are loyal to their brand they already trust. When AwesomeMotive acquired All-in-one SEO, the plugin had been around since 2007 and had a significant and dedicated user base. If they had slapped a new name on it, those users might have felt like strangers walked into their house. Instead, AwesomeMotive uses what brand strategists call a house of brands architecture, as opposed to a branded house where everything is under one master name. Think of it like Procter & Gamble versus Apple. P&G sells Tide, Pampers, Gillette, and Oral-B, all different brands, all under one holding company. Apple, on the other hand, calls everything Apple. AwesomeMotive is the P&G of WordPress. Each brand stands on its own. The holding company operates in the background, and the users love the individual brands without necessarily knowing or caring who owns them. 30টার উপরে কোম্পানি আছে কিন্তু সবার নাম আলাদা। এটা অন্য লেভেলের খেলা ভাই। The Flywheel Effect. Jeff Bezos famously described Amazon's business as a flywheel, a heavy wheel that's hard to spin at first, but once it's moving, it keeps accelerating on its own momentum. AwesomeMotive has built the WordPress ecosystem's most powerful flywheel. Here's how the spin works. WP Beginner attracts millions of visitors. Those visitors discover AwesomeMotive products. Those products become the most popular in their categories. Their popularity gives AwesomeMotive more credibility to acquire more products. Those new products get promoted on WP Beginner. WP Beginner attracts even more visitors who need those tools. The flywheel spins faster with every acquisition. Even every new product they add doesn't just add revenue, it adds more reasons for people to visit WP Beginner, more keywords to rank for, more cross-selling opportunities. The flywheel doesn't stop, and it becomes harder and harder for competitors to compete with such a system that feeds itself. Acqui-Hiring and talent retention. Here's something most people miss when they hear about all these acquisitions. Syed doesn't just buy products, he acquires the people behind them too. When AwesomeMotive acquired Sandhills Development, the company behind Easy Digital Downloads, Affiliate WP, and WP SimplePay, the majority of the development team joined AwesomeMotive along with their products. This is a strategy called Acqui-Hiring, acquiring a company primarily to gain its talent, with the product being a bonus. In Syed's case, it works both ways. He gets talented, passionate developers who already know their products inside and out, who already love their user community, and who are already committed to making the product great. He doesn't parachute in a new management team and destroy the culture. He runs what he describes as a decentralized, trust-based organization where individual teams operate autonomously with small structures. AwesomeMotive has over 330 team members across 50-plus different countries, 100% remote. Every single brand team operates somewhat independently. They don't centralize everything into one bloated corporate structure. That's how a company with 30 plus brands can still feel nimble and responsive to users. Remote কাজ 50টার উপরে দেশে 330-এর উপরে মানুষ বসমনায় দেখেও না কে লিখেছে। Product-led growth. Product-led growth, or PLG, is a strategy where the product itself is the primary driver of customer acquisition, retention, and expansion. Instead of spending millions on ads, you make the product so good and so easy to use that it sells itself. AwesomeMotive executes PLG almost perfectly across its portfolio. Here's how. Every major AwesomeMotive product has a free version on WordPress.org, WPForms Lite, MonsterInsights Lite, all-in-one SEO free, duplicator free. These free versions are genuinely useful, not crippled, not embarrassing. They're real tools that solve real problems. And this is the genius. The free version is the marketing. Every free user is a potential paid user. Every time someone installs WPForms Lite on their WordPress site and successfully builds a form, AwesomeMotive just demonstrated its product's value without spending $1 on advertising. The moment that free user needs more features, more integrations, more entries, more customizations, there's a clear, frictionless upgrade path to the premium version. This is textbook product-led growth. And when you combine it with WP Beginners audience as the top of funnel, the conversion machine becomes unstoppable. Category dominance strategy. In every single category that AwesomeMotive enters, the goal isn't to be good. The goal is to be number one. Forms. WPForms is the most popular drag-and-drop form builder for WordPress. Analytics. MonsterInsights is the most popular Google Analytics plugin. SEO. All-in-one SEO claims to be the original WordPress SEO plugin. Backup. Duplicator. Social feeds. Smashbill. Push notifications. PushEngage. Conversion optimization. OptiMonster. Syed plays a game of category leadership, where winning the top spot in any given category creates a self-reinforcing advantage. When WP Beginner publishes an article like Best WordPress Form Plugins Compared, WPForms is almost always the top. When a developer recommends a backup plugin, Duplicator comes up. When an agency chooses an SEO plugin, all-in-one SEO is in the conversation. Being number one in a category means more organic mentions, more backlinks, more WP Beginner traffic, more installs on WP.org, all of which feed back into maintaining the number one position. It's a moat inside a moat. Strategic philanthropy is brand building. This one is underrated. And I think it says something important about Syed as a founder. AwesomeMotive has built schools in Cambodia, supported various charitable causes, and Syed has talked publicly about his belief that companies should be forces for good. When they acquired WP Charitable, a donation and fundraising plugin, one of the stated reasons was his commitment. In marketing, this is called purpose-driven marketing. When a company publicly aligns itself with a cause or value system that resonates with its audience, it creates emotional loyalty that no feature list can match. People don't just buy from AwesomeMotive because WPForms is great. Some of them buy because they believe in what Syed stands for, giving small businesses a fighting chance against corporate giants and using business success to do good in the world. That's not just good PR. That's a genuine competitive advantage in the attention economy. The overnight success illusion. The AwesomeMotive website has a line that I love. It says, "We are an overnight success, 13 years in the making." This is the most important marketing concept of all, and it's not a term, it's a mindset. Syed started WP Beginner in 2009. By 2013, he launched his first product. By 2021, he was completing a dozen acquisitions a year. By 2023, annual revenue was $46.5 million US. That's 15 years of consistent compounding effort. No shortcuts, no unicorn funding round. Just being, as Syed himself put it, consistently good for a long period of time. Overnight success, but 13 years of hard work? আমরা তো 13 দিনে quit করি ভাই। Now, let's talk about where AwesomeMotive is going. Because if you thought the acquisition machine was impressive, wait until you see what they're doing with AI. Let's look at WPForms AI that launched recently. This is the landing page of that form. Just building a form was never easy like this ever before in WordPress. In November 6, 2024, WPForms included WPForms AI, an AI-powered form builder. You describe the form you want in plain English. I need a customer feedback form for a restaurant with a star rating, comment box, and email field. Done. Built in seconds. No dragging, no dropping, no guessing. All-in-one SEO added a ChatGPT integration for generative SEO titles and meta descriptions without leaving the WordPress editor. MonsterInsights added conversational analytics. You can literally ask it about your traffic in plain English and it gives you insights. WP Code introduced WP Code AI. You describe what you want a code snippet to do and it writes the code. Across the board, AwesomeMotive is embedding AI into every product in its portfolio, making tools that were already beginner-friendly even more accessible to non-techie users. And here's the strategic insight. This is not random. This is exactly their mission. Help small businesses grow and compete with the big guys. AI is the great equalizer. A small business owner in South Africa, Bangladesh, Jamaica, or suburban area in the US who has never written a line of code can now use AI to build professional forms, optimize their SEO, and run sophisticated marketing campaigns that would have required a full team just 5 years ago. AI দিয়ে ছোট ব্যবসা এখন বড় ব্যবসার সাথে পাল্লা দিতে পারবে। ব্যাপারটা মজার। Syed has publicly said that he believes WordPress will power over 50% of websites in the world within the next 5 years. And with AI embedded into every tool in the AwesomeMotive stack, they are positioning themselves to be the infrastructure layer of that future. This is what strategists call platform thinking. Instead of building a product, you build a platform that other businesses are built on top of. WordPress is already the platform. AwesomeMotive wants to be the essential toolkit that every WordPress business depends on. Okay, let's bring it home. Because this 20-minute story has about 10 years worth of lessons buried inside it, let me give you the ones that matter most. Whether you are building a plugin, running an agency, launching a SaaS, or trying to understand how to scale anything, build your audience before your product. Syed didn't launch OptinMonster in September 2013. He launched a blog website, WP Beginner. 4 years of audience building before his first product. That sequence is not accidental. The audience came first, always first. The product came second, and that order is everything. If you are building anything right now, a plugin, a service, a course, and you don't have an audience yet, your number one job is content. Not features, not pricing pages. Content that helps people and builds trust over time. Acquisitions are not just about buying revenue. They are about buying distribution, talent, and category leadership simultaneously. Every time AwesomeMotive acquires a company, they are buying all four. A product that works, a user base that trusts it, a team that knows how to run it, and a category position they can defend. When they acquire something, they are not making a gamble on an unproven idea. They are buying something that has already found product market fit. This is what smart acquirers do. They let the risk get absorbed by the original founders, and then they step in when the proof of concept is already there. Distribution beats product in the long run. OptinMonster is not the only lead generation plugin in the market. WPForms is not the only form builder. All-in-one SEO is not the only SEO plugin. In every single category AwesomeMotive competes in, there are technically comparable or sometimes even superior products. But WP Beginner means AwesomeMotive products get recommended to millions of people every month. That distribution advantage, built over 16 years, is worth more than any feature difference. You can have the world's best product and still lose if you have no distribution. Or you can have an average product and win if you have dominant distribution. That's a hard truth, but that's the truth. Consistency over time is the ultimate competitive advantage. Nobody talks about this enough. Syed Balkhi didn't do anything magic. He wasn't lucky. He picked an audience, WordPress beginners. He picked a mission, help small businesses compete with the big guys. And he showed up for that audience and that mission constantly for 15 years. He didn't pivot to crypto. He didn't chase NFTs. He didn't abandon WordPress when AI got trendy. He just kept getting better at the thing he decided to be great at. That kind of focus in an era when everyone is constantly distracted, chasing trends, reinventing themselves every 6 months is genuinely rare, and it compounds. ফোকাস করেন, কনসিস্টেন্ট থাকেন, 15 বছর পরে দেখেন কি হয়। শর্টকাট খুঁজলে আসলে কোনো গতি নেই। I didn't want to make another top 10 WordPress plugins list because you can get that anywhere. What I want this channel to be is the place where you understand the why behind what's happening in the WordPress and business world, where you walk away from every video not just knowing a fact but understanding a principle. Syed Balkhi is not special because he's smarter than everyone. He's special because he decided on a direction, stayed there longer than most people would, and built systems that compound over time. You can do the same. The principles apply whether you are building a WordPress plugin, a SaaS, or a roadside restaurant. If you found value in this video, comment below. I promise you, I will not waste your time with fluff, and I will answer to every comment personally in no time. And if you are Bangladeshi and watching this from home, ভাইয়া আপু, Syed Balkhi Pakistani, কিন্তু আমাদের থিবিও কম যায় না, দুইটাই আমাদের। See you in the next one.